Hey guys, so today I'm coming to you guys with an eyebrow tutorial, and we're going to jump right in with my Starry Eyeliner Gel in the color dark brown, and I'm using a angled brush. But first I'm going to use a spoolie to go in and fix my brows, lay the hairs down. So I dipped right into the pomade, and now I'm going to start outlining my brows, first starting at the top. And I want to go very slowly to make sure that the line is as precise and straight as possible. And I do this because I don't really like to use concealer at the top of my brows because I don't really like that look. I feel like it can kind of get a little clowny, so I try to just make them as neat as possible. So I did that brow, and we're going to move on to the next brow, repeating that process by starting at the top, and I create a peak towards the end of my eyebrow. And I slide down, and I try to match the second eyebrow up with the first one, so that's why I went in back at the top of my brow. So there they are, and now you'll see me just go in and kind of try to just make this brow a little bit thicker because it didn't really match the first brow. And now I'm filling in my brows with the pomade in very light strokes towards the end of my brow. And you see me leave the very tip of my eyebrow unshaded because I want to create a very feathered, kind of natural hair growing look. So I'm going to lightly, very lightly blend in that pomade towards the top of my brow. Okay, the brows are done, and now I'll go in with my LA Girl concealer in the color Fawn with a flat concealer brush. I'll apply a small amount to the flat concealer brush and start working on the bottom of my brows. You don't really want to use a lot of concealer because it can run and get a little messy, so a little definitely goes a long way on the bottom of your brows. And I'm lightly stroking the brush along the base of my eyebrow to create a precise line. And I'll be going back over some portions that I don't feel are as smooth as possible. I think this is the most tedious part of doing your brows, is the concealer, because this is what really gives your brows that pop, that shape, and the definition that they need. So on to the next brow. I'm going to be repeating the same process. And there you have it for the concealer. Now I'll be using one of my Rookie Bamboo blending brushes to blend out that concealer. And I'm going to go into the concealer under the first eyebrow that I did, because you don't really want to play in wet concealer. It's not going to have enough staying power. So I went back to the first brow that I placed the concealer under, as it kind of dried a little bit, and it's going to create the look that I want. And I'm being ever so careful not to tamper with the brow itself. So you want to make deliberate and slow strokes underneath your brow until you get most of the concealer blended down. You want to kind of pull downwards with the concealer and not smear it around. You want to either go to the tail of your brow, pulling that way, or pulling in downward strokes. That's that brow, and we'll move on to the next one, doing the same exact thing. Being very careful and very deliberate. Okay, and that's that. I know it looks a little crazy, but don't worry. I'm going in with my Covergirl Clean Professional Powder in the color 120 with my Real Techniques eyeshadow base brush, and I'll be blending that powder into the concealer so it's not as bright and stark. It'll kind of calm it down and also set the concealer in place so it lasts all day. And you'll kind of see the shine of the concealer start to diminish as well. It's just setting it and locking it into place and kind of getting rid of that shiny look. Just taming it down. And those are the brows. So these brows were for a look, an all pink look that I did. It'll be the next video on my channel, so check that look out. Here's a preview of how the look is. The brows with this look are perfect. Here's a little closer look. And this look is great for any lighting, as I'll show you here. Thank you guys. Like, comment, share, and sub.